Alright, I'm going to teach you how to make a chicken stew, chicken vegetable stew. And every time you make it, it's always an experiment. So these ingredients, feel free to add things or take things out. But the basic ingredients, you got to get organic de-skinned chicken that's been chopped up. I'm going to throw in some broccoli, except I'm going to take the florets, the top part. I'm going to cut those off and use them for another dish. I'm actually going to use this base part here and chop those up really finely so I can get some good fibers in the soup. I usually use 5 to 10 cloves of garlic, but sometimes more, sometimes less. But I'm going to end up chopping them all up through the processor. These orangish, pinkish lentils are excellent. They're really good for thickening your soup, and they taste really great, especially with the garlic. And these lentils, I always throw a little bit of these in there as well. Today I'm going to experiment with this Swiss Chard, and I've heard that this is pretty good in soup and that it also thickens up a soup. So I'm going to experiment with that. I'm going to use leeks instead of onions, which I normally do, carrots, celery, black pepper, bay leaves. I've been using this all seasoning spice here, and of course Celtic sea salt, the best, and olive oil. And these are the basic ingredients for this soup which I'm about to make. So on the next shot you'll see everything ready to go into the soup, prepared. Obviously here's chicken, and now for the chicken I go to a butcher that gives me organic halal meat, and this chicken has already been de-skinned and chopped up for me, and it includes the gizzards. You can choose not to include them if you don't want to. As far as the different beans, I use a little bit, about, let's say a cup of brown beans and about 2 cups of these orange ones. And the broccoli that I mentioned, without the florets, it's just all diced up, gives you a lot of fiber in your soup. I'm using a lot of garlic. And I'm going to saute the garlic and the leeks, which is, instead of onions, I use leeks. So here are all those leeks chopped up. And carrots, diced up. And, I forgot what those are called. Celery. A little mind blank there. Here are the spices I'm using. The bay leaves, I'm using 4 bay leaves. There's 2 tablespoons of salt there. 2 teaspoons of pepper and 2 teaspoons of the all-season. I'm going to saute a lot of stuff in extra virgin olive oil. And finally, for me, the experimental thing is this Swiss Chard. Never done it before. We'll see how it goes. But basically, I just really cut these up into little pieces. And so these are all the ingredients for the soup. And next, I'm going to saute some of the ingredients. Okay, so I just added the garlic right here into this pot. I got some oil, some olive oil. It's hot, and I just want to get the garlic sauteing first. And you can check like that, just to get it started. Next, what I'm going to do is throw in my leeks. Here comes the leeks. Really mix those around. It smells good. You smell all those flavors. Mix it around. Make sure you get everything out of there. Don't waste anything. Okay, just saute that. And I'm going to also throw in my chicken now. I'll give the chicken I'll give it a few seconds before I throw in this chicken. Now, one thing I have behind you is I have water already boiling right here, and the reason is I want to be pretty quick about getting all the vegetables in and get a boil started. So I'm pre-boiling some water here in that electric kettle, sauteing this, and getting ready to put this chicken in. And I should grab the spices as well, because I'm going to throw those on top of the chicken. Normally, I don't measure my spices. Normally, what I'll do is just kind of put it in and see if it tastes good, if it seems like the right quantity. But that looks to me to be about the right quantity. I got a lot of pepper there because I like pepper. I like my soup to be peppery. I oftentimes put dry red chili to give it more of a spicy edge. And when I'm experimenting, I sometimes put in Indian spices, Indian curries to make it more of an Indian style. I can try different vegetables. This whole thing with the Swiss chard, I might even suggest, I'll tell you at the end of making the soup if it was good or not, but I might suggest not even using it because I've never done it before. I don't know how it's going to come out, but we'll see. Alright, so this is about the texture I want it to be in as far as the stir frying, because now I'm going to fry up the chicken. Notice that it's shrunk in size. I don't know if you can see that or not. Now I throw in my chicken, and I'm just going to get this going. Now you don't have to saute like this. You could just go right into boiling, but I do. I do saute it like this. So, I just think it makes it better. I don't know why. Let me start adding this all in slowly and all over the place. Dude, that's a lot of spices. But look at the size of this bowl. This bowl is huge. So believe me, it's going to be full all the way to the top of with liquid. Okay, I'm going to keep on doing it until all the pink's gone. Mix all these flavors together. And when we come back, this will be all sauteed, pinked, and ready to add the boiling hot water and the rest of the vegetables. Okay, so this is about ready. So, it's all the pink's gone. And I'm just going to add water now.
Okay.
And so, basically, if you don't have an electric kettle, no problem. Just put water in like you normally would, and you just have to wait for it to boil. No big deal. I like to just have it all boiling immediately. That's why I do that. And I'm going to use 2 of these. I'm going to fill this literally to the top, to the brim with boiling water. But while I have this water in here, now I start adding the other ingredients. Here are the broccoli stems cut up for fiber. Give us some really good fiber in there. Carrots, you gotta have carrots. It gives it the sweet taste. And here is the celery. Look at all those good ingredients for this soup. This is a really, really hearty, good soup. This gives it just a little, some protein besides the chicken. And what I really like about these lentils is that it really gives the soup texture. It gives it a great texture. Now with all those ingredients in there, and I'm going to add more water, I mix it around. And sometimes what I like to do, and I think I should do a little bit now, is I'll take a little organic basmati rice, just a little bit, and just pour a little bit. Not too much, just a bit of it. There you go. And now we have a really wholesome soup. I'm going to add more boiling water next. And I haven't added the Swiss chard in yet. I have to think about how much I'm going to put in there because I'm really so not sure about it. But anyways, in the next shot you'll see it boiling, ready to go, with or without the Swiss chard. And about the chard, I decided that I'm going to try it. I'm just going to throw it in there, see what happens. Never done it before. I hope it doesn't ruin my awesome soup, because the way it is right there, it would be just perfect. But here it is. Someone told me that this would be good, and we're going to give it a try. And with soups like this, that's what you do. You just experiment. You do all kinds of different things with it. And obviously, I'm not going to be able to eat this whole thing myself. So what I do a lot is I will cook a huge soup like this. Like I said, I'm going to boil this for hours, let those flavors really mix in there. And then I'm going to leave it alone, and I'll let it sit out until late tonight right here. And what I'll do then is take a lot of it and freeze it. I'll freeze about half of it, I'll refrigerate the other half, and over the course of the next week, I'm going to just enjoy it. Okay, it's been over an hour, and this thing has been boiling. Boy, has it been boiling. So let's take a look at it. Let's see. Wow, it's, ooh, ow, that thing is hot. It is definitely thick. That's exactly the way we like it. Look at that thick stew. Nice. Oh yeah, I mean, it's ready now.